Welcome to the Scholarship Guide for Busy Parents. This is video 3, Private Scholarships. So where do private scholarships come from? They come from corporations and charities, individuals, unions, all kinds of different organizations. And each of these organizations has a different reason potentially for putting scholarships out there, but often they're looking for goodwill, for advertising, for name recognition, and that type of thing. So let's take a look at some examples. First, we have a couple large corporate sponsors that are providing scholarships. We have Coca-Cola, which provides scholarships in the amount of $20,000 per scholarship, and there's 150 awards each year. Dell has the Dell Scholars Program, which provides $20,000 per year scholarships for the students that are in that program. Of course, there's not just big programs, there's lots of little scholarships as well. Scholarships.com, a website that helps families find scholarships, claims to have 3.7 million different scholarships and grants available. So we can also get involved in all these little scholarships. Here's an example of a relatively unique scholarship. It's called Beans for Brains. Beans is a company that manufactures yarn, and they have a knitting scholarship. So here's some scholarship winners that won scholarships based on their knitting. And then we have Stuck at Prom. Here's some prom outfits that also won $15,000 scholarships. So where do we find scholarships? Well, the four main categories would be scholarship websites, Google searches, where we work and play, and ultimately our high school. So let's talk about scholarship websites. There's a lot of scholarship websites out there. When you sign up for the scholarship guide, we will email you a list of all the scholarship websites that we have. But there's places like scholarships.com, FastWeb, Going Merry, Scholarship Owl, and many others. So scholarships is big business, and there's a lot of websites out there that are trying to provide information in exchange for your contact information. So if you're going to get involved in scholarship websites, I always recommend that you use a very unique email. Don't use your work email or another important email, because you're going to get a lot of scholarship junk mail once you start getting on these lists. Next, we have Google searches. When I put knitting scholarships into Google, you'll notice that the first two results both lead you to the Beans for Brains scholarship. So that's how I was able to find that scholarship. So working with Google can be challenging. So I put together a bonus video. Once you sign up for the materials, you can get access to my 5 strategies to turbocharge your scholarship search on Google. And we also have a memory jogger to help you figure out what topics you need to be searching on. How is your student unique, and what should you be searching for? Are they a black belt in judo? Do they excel at weather forecasting? What is their unique abilities? What is their unique strengths? And where might they find scholarships? Next, we have where you work and play. Many times there are scholarships available where mom and dad or where the student works, or other organizations and clubs, perhaps professional organizations. So here's a couple of quick examples. If you happen to work for Myers, then you can apply for the Fred and Leanna Myers Scholarship. It's $5,000 or $10,000. It's generally targeted to the children of their employees. And of course, you can also look where Grandma and Grandpa work and play. Here's an example at Baxter. They offer scholarships not just to the children of their employees, but also the grandchildren of their employees. So you might want to ask around in your family to see if there's any connections there where you might find scholarships where mom and dad or where grandmas and grandpas work. And then finally, we have finding scholarships at your high school. And we can actually expand that, not just your high school, but even neighboring high schools, or if you're in a larger city where it has multiple high schools, the district or the town or the county might actually have some sort of scholarship mechanism. So here's an example. If you happen to live in Virginia Beach, well, this public school system has a scholarship search site, and it looks like there's 180 different scholarships available if you happen to attend or are involved in the Virginia Beach public schools. I also want to remind everybody to become a Scholarship Guide subscriber so you can receive all the Scholarship Guide resources. Remember, we've got this SAI estimator, the list of student exchanges and reciprocity agreements, the state resources website, the top 20 scholarship website, colleges that meet 100% of need, and finally the scholarship priority checklist. We also have a bonus video, 5 strategies to turbocharge your scholarship search on Google. So click the link in the description below to sign up for the scholarship resources. So now let's get back to the scholarship guide for busy parents. So let's dig into a couple of these national scholarships because I think it's important people understand how they work. So let's start with the Dell Scholars Program. So as you dig into it, there's all kinds of information, and especially for the larger scholarships that are associated with big corporations, they're going to have a lot of information on some sort of website with disclosures and all the relevant information. So as we dig into the Dell Scholars, you'll notice that it says that you must be eligible to receive a federal Pell Grant in your first year of college in order to qualify. So that's essentially saying that you need to be a high-need family. And if you don't quite understand what that means, we covered that in video 1, where we talk about need-based aid. But this program, again, is based on need, so you need to have a high need in order to qualify. Now, when we look into the Coca-Cola Scholar Program, they don't have any sort of need component. It's all based on merit. So they're looking for strong academic students that also maybe have some leadership or other quality resume items. So if you look at some of the statistics that are on their website, they say 95,000 applicants were submitted, 150 awards were awarded, and they not only had to excel at academics, but they also had to lead through service. So they had to have a pretty strong rock star resume in order to qualify for the Coca-Cola Scholars Program. That, of course, could be confirmed by the types of colleges that these students were attending. Number 1 was Harvard, and then Stanford, Duke, Yale, and Princeton. So very top-notch students attending top-notch colleges that are winning this type of award. And then finally, let's talk about the Stuck at Prom contest. So Stuck at Prom is a scholarship that's been out there for years, and it's sponsored by Duck Brand Duct Tape. And what they have the students do is create a prom outfit out of duct tape. So these 2 pictures that we're looking at here are all duct tape. Once you create the outfit, you take a picture and submit, and if you win, this scholarship is $15,000 per person. In the past, you used to have to attend prom as a couple. Now they've kind of opened it up and they just award 1 winner in the dress category and 1 winner in the tux category. And then they have a number of $1,000 runner-up type of programs. All right, that's all we have for video 3. In video 4, we're going to talk about your scholarship plan. So we're going to work out the scholarship hierarchy, and we'll help you figure out how to take the information you've learned and build a scholarship plan that will work for your family. So we've got some resources and some worksheets where you can lay things out and really understand how you take this information and pull the trigger, do some action, and actually win some scholarships. If you missed it, you can go back to the video 1 where we talk about the scholarship basics and the federal and state grants. And we also talk about need-based aid and merit aid. If you go back to video 2, that's where we talked all about institutional scholarships. That's where we talked about the scholarships that come directly from the colleges and universities that we're attending. All right, that's all we have for this video. Please be sure to subscribe and like our videos, and we'll see you in the next video.